is one of the greats of the French game. Out come Toulouse as well. Thomas Ramos, who came on as a substitute in the final at White Hart Lane in Tottenham, as Toulouse won in extra time. We had to wait that long to get the first try in London. I wonder how long we'll have to wait here. The tries always tend to come more in the latter part of the season. Mathieu Reynal, in his last season before retirement, is the man in the middle. Man who was in the middle for the Challenge Cup final, which was won for the first time by a South African side, Hugo Mola. A man who almost got fired before he got going as coach, but has since absolutely justified the faith that was shown in him by Didier Lacroix. We might not be at the Stade Ernst-Wellon tonight, but that doesn't mean we will not have the atmosphere of a home Toulouse crowd. La Rochelle in all white as usual up against the all black and red of Toulouse. The dominant sides of French rugby over the last 3 or 4 years. French sides have won the European title 3 seasons in a row, in fact 4 seasons in a row, and it's these two sides that have done it. Jack Noll, fresh from his first try finally in French rugby, the former Exeter man, and it is a scrum that will go to La Rochelle first off, and this is where the scrum certainly where they will be wanting to make a statement with their heavy pack.
For sure. I mean, I think it's quite a generous kind of play of advantage there from Mathieu Reynal. But La Rochelle won't be whinging about that. Here we're going to see the collective weight of probably 280, 290 kilos down the right-hand side there with Big Antonio and Skelton behind him. You know, it's a formidable presence. And a midfield scrum 25 metres from your goal line is a tough one to defend as well. They can go left, they can go right, they create extra numbers through their 8 and their 9. And we'll see what La Rochelle have got here.
Only 7 kilos difference between the two packs, though. 917 kilos for the men in white, 910 for Toulouse, so they are packing some weight themselves in this.
Looks like program weight to me. When I look at the team from La Rochelle, I'm sure they've had a few more dinners than Toulouse, but yeah, look, it
was at the beginning of the season when they were weighed.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you had Mathieu in there and a couple of the big guns for Toulouse, I'm sure, but here we go, we'll see what happens here.
Thomas Bergeon with the feed, first game back from a muscle injury that he picked up against Oyonnax.
He got himself caught a little bit long there, Antonio. His feet too far behind him, couldn't hold his weight, considerable as it is, and unfortunately went down. I think a fair decision from Reynal.
Ronan O'Gara, who was very unhappy with his Thomas Ramos. Toulouse so fortunate they have a man like Ramos who can fill in at fullback and at number 10 and still do it with international class.
Où il est le chrono pour le buteur? Parce qu'il n'y a pas dans les angles et tout ça. Il est où le chrono pour le buteur?
Some of the big names who are watching on tonight. Emmanuel Merfou there on the right-hand side of your screen. Anthony Gelon just going by, and Labelle, who scored the try in the European Cup final last weekend, getting a cheer from the Stade de Toulouse crowd. And Thomas Ramos with first chance for points as we approach the 5-minute mark. Blair Kinghorn was the man who had the kicking duties for the first part of the game last weekend, but Ramos came on and missed an earlier chance. How will he get off here? Well, the crowd tell you. 3 points to nothing, 5 minutes in, and the first points belong to the champions.
So frustrating as a team when you have a dominant opportunity, 22 metres out from the opposition goal line, scrum attack, centre field. Unfortunately, lose your footing, give away a penalty, and then 3 minutes later, 3-0 down.
Off we go on Capuozzo there, tried to steal it. It's gone though to La Rochelle. Back inside by Brice Dula, who's had his injury worries this season. Good to see him back on the pitch. Will Skelton, the Australian international bruiser at the gain line. Oh, nice. Suteni, beautiful, and here comes Jack Noll straightening it up. And the first try 45 seconds after the first points belongs to La Rochelle, and you can hear the admiration even amongst the Toulouse fans for that one.
Yeah, exceptional sleight of hand there in midfield from the big man, moving the ball nicely. Great change of line from Jack Noel. An excellent finisher for his second try of the season.
Well, it all happened here. Capuzzo failing to gather to Skelton, and then some beautiful work along the line. Good offloading, and then the straighten up here. And we're finally seeing the Jack Noel that scored so many tries for Exeter. It's only recently they got his first one.
Beautiful from Satini out the back door there as well, wasn't it? I think the centre gets caught here a little bit, loses footing, can't double defend, and gets caught, and an easy tap in from Jack Noel there.
And Antoine Hustoy not wasting any time either with the conversion. Well, he will be quite good with the new rules that are coming in with regards to how much time you're going to get to take penalty kicks or conversions. Well, this was a beautiful try, and this will give them a huge amount of confidence, which is something they've not always had this season.
Interesting tactically there, we've seen La Rochelle, both restarts there, they've gone short, they've gone for a contestable ball, trying to target the smaller, lighter Capuzzo probably from the get-go, and both times giving them the ball back. You know, one led to a scrum, and secondly led to 7 points.
Bergeron then off the back of the exit ruck. Hasn't found touch, found Capuzzo instead. Ramos back inside to this amazing new number 8 that's coming through, Matis Castro Ferreira, who scored 2 tries in his last appearance. Kroos trying to make it past Quentin Lespec, the La Rochelle hooker.
Will, stop.
Telling Will Skelton to leave at the ruck alone.
It's a big hallmark of Toulouse play, this, the small kicking off 9, just slightly over the ruck, 50 metres. You see it from 9, you saw it early from Ramos at 10. There's definitely looked to try and exploit the space behind the first line of defence, see if the 9's in the line or out the line, and they're really testy with the ball in hand, and if they don't, they're very, very good at identifying space and attacking space.
Matis Castro Ferreira playing number 7 tonight as well. He's made his mark mainly this season from playing at the back of the scrum. If he's got that sort of versatility, then he's got a very shiny career ahead of him. There is the injury list. It's not that long at the moment, but Lavani Bottia, who got his own, there is Kerr Barlow. Looking for Lavani Bottia. Hugo Royce is there at the front as well. But Lavani Bottia got his own walkout a few games ago in his 200th appearance for the 2-time outgoing European champions, and they're going to have to make a change already by the looks of it. Looks like Matis Haddad is having to leave the pitch. The 23-year-old blindside flanker today.
Yeah, they brought established international and Tanga on. You know, a very forthright ball carrier. He's joining us next season as well, so looking forward to seeing him play tonight.
So you're looking for him to be more forthright?
Well, tonight for sure. Tonight for sure. If he can do us a favour and La Rochelle can win, then it'll be a good result for us.
Well, the good thing for all of us is this is threatening to be a pretty good game.
As you would hope, wouldn't you? Of course, you know, to see 2 teams of this calibre, you're hoping for something special. This stage of the season, as you said rightly before, that this tends to be in the top 14. A lot more tries scored in the last 6-7 rounds of the competition from top to bottom. And, you know, tonight I'm sure we'll see a few scores.
Interesting choice of Thomas Bergeron over Teddy Iribarren, who has been on the bench, and it's not the first time this season that has been the case.
Yeah, I think a different style player as well. You know, Teddy obviously a very competent kicker, you know, very good with the ball in hand, a European winner himself. This kid's got something special though, you know, really good around the fringes.
Here is Bergeron off the back. Hastoy turns it back inside where Bergeron is on the support line. He, though, is picked off by Matis Castro Ferreira and has been held up. So we're going to come back for a previous
scrum infringement, I think. I think the loose head stepped out and went in on Big Antonio there. It's a decent-sized target to go in on, to be fair.
Hard to miss.
Probably quite comfortable place to be to rest your head for a while.
So Hastoy looks for distance, looks for territory and finds it. 10 minutes gone. La Rochelle have the only try so far. It's Toulouse 3, La Rochelle 7. So far, the coaches trying to look comfortable, but they must be very pleased with the way that their side has come out and started hitting hard in a game they really have to win. Good maul. Quentin Laspec was the man who had it. Bergeron finally breaks free, and well, that might have gone forward, but Bergeron has carried on. Still going. Souteni, Tonga. Nice little turn by Brice Dulin. Dulin being held up, but tackle called now. Bergeron. Out wide again by Hastoy. Now there's a real chance. Judico Cancorier trying to charge for the line. Will Skelton over. Can he get the ball down? Yes, he can. 2 tries to La Rochelle. And Will Skelton comes up with his first try of the season. And La Rochelle take a firm foothold in the game.
Yeah, incredible start from La Rochelle. We've seen some real enterprise from deep. You know, not normally hallmarks of their game over the last kind of six, seven months or so, but their power game there, the line out, the scrum penalty, that's what you call rugby synergy. And then moving the ball later with balls out the back from the big forwards. And the power game of Skelton, Cancare, Antonio is second to none, really.
Well, he's been a hallmark of their 2 European successes, his power at the gain line. And Hastoy again whips through the extras. And, well, a slightly strange atmosphere all of a sudden inside the Stadium Toulouse. They straighten the line again. And Correa didn't quite make it through, but look at the support play by Skelton. And Piato Mavaka does not look very impressed on the Toulouse bench.
Not impressed, but relaxed.
Yes.
Still looking relaxed. You know, I think Toulouse have been in places before where they're behind. I still believe in this group, you know, at home with the crowd that they have. But, you know, they need to arrest this momentum that La Rochelle have right now.
Greg Aldrit. Safe pair of hands at the back. One of the most underrated world stars, if you like. Man who does all the dirty work for France. And he's the man who also provides that cohesion in the forwards as well for La Rochelle. Some have said he's not been in that great form this season, but hasn't helped the fact that he missed so much of the early part, at least in terms of La Rochelle.
That's right, self-imposed exile from the game through La Rochelle, you know, in agreement with the player. And, you know, they certainly miss his leadership as well.
Toulouse finally get their hands on the ball again. Butaniyata, they tried to rip that ball away from him. It was Tonga who came on as a substitute for Haddad, trying to get his hands there in between player and ball. Out by Graou into Aino. Good counterplay though. Kroos. Well brought down though by Jeju, the young open side flanker. That was Barassi trying to get forward, and now Aino again, the tight head prop, gets an extra yard to bring the gain line forward up to the 22. Paul Grau again into the forwards once more with Francois Kroos. French international, but has not always been in the side this season. Rodrigue Nietti, loose head prop, gets his hands on the ball. Grau. Good line of defence from La Rochelle at the moment, but here comes Ange Capuzzo! Oh, the Italian international jinxed through. We will see whether or not there might have been a possible crossing. At the moment, Ange Capuzzo, though, showing just how elusive he can be. And a first try for Toulouse.
I think it should be okay. I think there you see the player made the decision to step in. You don't see many La Rochelle players complaining, which is often a good telltale sign of something going wrong on the field before the referee decides the case. Capuzzo, what a wonderful footballer he is, you know. To think at the start of the year, they had Jaminet, they had Ramos, and they've got this guy as well, all playing 15, 3 international 15s. The quality and the depth of Toulouse has been superb.
Fourth try of the season, first in top 14 since he scored against Racing back at the end of January. And he gets Toulouse in the game.
There we go, you're saying only moments before, Angus. Only moments before. We're expecting a big one here. Points being scored. Toulouse need to get back in the game. They'll almost answer your call straight away.
Well, I mean, it's just non-stop attack at the moment from both sides. Well, La Rochelle scored a lovely try, and that was a pretty good one too.
It'll be interesting to see here if Toulouse adapt the restart setup to try and protect 15 on the short kick-off again. Lost three in a row. They tried to put a big boy there to take the catch, but unfortunately knocked on as well.
So important to get the exit right after you've scored, otherwise the momentum just disappears. Your hand over possession territory, particularly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a soft way to let a team come back at you as well after getting momentum with 7 points to come back again, defending a scrum, only 22. A team with the power of La Rochelle as well. You know, it's a really, really difficult position to be in.
Particularly as this scrum is taking place in the middle of the park as well, so they can go either way.
Flexion. Lié.
That's a lot of territory to defend off the end of this if they manage to finally get, oh dear. Oh, free kick given to Toulouse, and they've handed possession back again, and Winnie Antonio in his 300th appearance looks like he's the guilty man. Engaging too early, that's too long, isn't it?
I think it's going to be an exceptional kick here. I think they're going to end up getting a touch, probably about 35 metres.
Oof, not a good kick out.
Terrible. But yeah, Antonio there, he had the face of an angel. Wasn't quite sure why the referee was deciding that was a free kick against him, but like a good man that he is, he goes back without argument.
Angels have changed since I last saw a picture of one.
Angel's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Angel cake, maybe.
Guillaume Cramont then with the line out for Toulouse with an unexpectedly decent position. Paul Gravel sees a chance to race through and goes for the line. Jack Knoll brings him down, but the danger is not over. Fasaweli has it still. I think that's got into touch, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, a knock on.
Actually tough there, because for me it was penalty advantage to Toulouse. They were offside there. La Rochelle at the tail of the line out. Grouse spot space, and like we mentioned before, you know, absolute able deputy for Dupont. Similar profile player, very quick, very elusive. Great break there. Just didn't quite get the on the outside there, Jack Knoll.
Well, Paul Graou racing out of the Antoine Dupont handbook. Just to show you that he's very similar in that way to the #1 player in the world, which shows you the job that Paul Graou has got to try and displace him. Antoine Dupont finds new ways to show just how great he is, almost on a weekly basis. Paul Graou, though, has shone on all of the times that he's been given. And there have been quite a few of them as well this season. Good scrum this for La Rochelle on their own 5-metre line. Good push. This time Winnie Antonio stays upright. It collapses on this side. He's going to give the penalty, though, to La Rochelle this time. I think La Rochelle might have almost fancied the advantage there for a second.
Yeah, it's a tough one there, isn't it? Right now, already blowing the whistle, but you can see La Rochelle in a prominent position, 2v1, and then they've got the field open in front of them.
Rodrigue Netty, the man who's been penalised. Couple of France caps for him all the way back in 2020. None since then, though.
Been mixed bag in terms of the referee outcome in terms of the scrum for La Rochelle, but you can see the dominance there again with Antonio. Both times they've really had to go at Toulouse. We've seen that the Lucerne can't withstand the pressure that the La Rochelle scrum is putting them under.
Yeah, well, Rodrigue Netty there literally being pushed backwards until he buckled in two. In by Lesbec, safely gathered. Maul established.
Penalty advantage as well, I think.
Yeah. Must have been dragged down in the line out. That's an interesting kick across. Lades has got it. Did he drop that and then kick it?
Yeah, he did. I think he might place onto his foot. I think drop would be harsh on him, but a very aware footballer, you know. He can feel space, feel threat, recognise opportunity. and tries to do something a little bit cute there.
Well, he handed it straight to Toulouse, but fortunately for him, we've come back for the previous infringement. The two presidents, who have both seen tremendous success in recent years.
They've seen a tremendous amount of wine by the looks of them too.
They've had plenty to celebrate.
There is that. There is that. Yeah, I think a penalty there, 4 in from the side.
Rochelle, though, still looking for that first star in top 14, despite the fact they've got two European twinklers. Let's pack again. Further forward, that was it wasn't straight, but it was on the Toulouse side. So Toulouse have got possession. Ramos. They're going to try and run it. Capozzo drops it. Toulousain. And the referee blows because there was a knock-on earlier. So we're coming back again.
Very generous that from the referee. Normally 3 passes away from the initial error. Normally says advantage is over, and I think Capuzzo just took his eye off it, thought there was going to be a kick there. Unfortunately, you know, a knock on because he had a 2v1 with the field opening up in front of him.
Well, it wasn't straight, but it was not on the La Rochelle side either. You can see there. Toulouse being given a game here. Toulouse have 63% possession.
Flexion.
72% as well in terms of territory. But they're not on the scoreboard in front. So La Rochelle here doing what they need to do. Toulouse on the attack. They've scored their first try in the game. Capozzo once more. This time the Italian holds onto it and then is dumped to the deck. A little bit of indecision perhaps. Grau out. Fasuele runs into contact and it's 2 huge La Rochelle forwards and gets no change whatsoever. Halfway through the first half. 4 points in it. Capozzo again tries to ride over the top of Red Awardy. French international loose head prop. François Croce beats a couple of tackles. Isolated Bergeon and got 3 or 4 metres out of him. Grau offload picked up by Entermac. And Entermac is away and they've got numbers. Entermac, still might get it. On the line. How they haven't scored yet, I don't know. Grau trying to come through the middle this time with Clément Verger, the second row forward. Cramon, another of these try-scoring hookers. And they're over, and it's Capozzo who started it off at the other half, who has finished it off behind the try line. A second score for the Italian. Second score for Toulouse. And for the first time since they went in front right at the beginning with a penalty, they are in front again now.
I think they might be checking for maybe a knock-on earlier in the play, but again we see the intent of Toulouse's attack, the ability to move the point of contact, the inside-outside balls off line, the acceleration through contact, and have a short word there for Crow as well. Just incredible energy to carry the ball 3 times in that sequence of play.
Un potentiel en avant là-bas sur le ruck, s'il te plaît.
Okay.
Décision de terrain, c'est là.
So it's a decision on the ground, which is a try. So they're going to have to find absolute proof that they can't give it.
Le 19 est hors jeu.
Ouais, hors jeu.
Il tape sur le bras.
There's Tonga. They're isolating the number 19, the substitute.
Parce qu'il tape sur le bras. Attends, non, je vois pas.
Actually, he's offside here initially.
Who's that?
Tanga. I think Tanga's actually offside on the fringe of the ruck
Il y a un avant du Toulousain, mais il y a position de hors-jeu. Donc pas essai, on revient là-bas. Position de hors-jeu, pénalité contre vous.
Ok, je suis d'accord avec ta décision.
No try, going to go back for offside from Tanga.
Position de hors-jeu.
So scratch that for Capozzo. Just the one try then so far for him.
Breathtaking play though. I mean the quality of the attack there from Toulouse, the ability to recycle the ball. You know, great scramble defence from La Rochelle, which has been a hallmark of their season this year, their defence, and great from both teams really.
So just explain to us why Tonga can't do that.
So of course, when a ruck's formed, they create an offside line effectively, and when the offside line is set, you can't infringe upon that. And Tanga there was probably halfway up the ruck. His foot was in front of the back foot of the ruck, and he played the 9, which is a penalty.
Roman Entomac watching on then with Labelle, two of the stars of last weekend's European Champions Cup, well, not European anymore, is it EPCR Challenge Cup victory. It's going to take a lot of muscle memory to get rid of the word European at the front of that.
I still call it Heineken Cup, so you're doing better than I am.
Toulouse using muscle up against the muscle of La Rochelle. The maul still moving. He's managed to get quite a few metres out of this particular piece of play. And an advantage as well, bringing down the maul. There could be a yellow card perhaps. Referee doesn't show any signs of giving it yet. More interested if the fight doesn't break out as they get themselves back off the pitch. And Will Skelton and Rodrigue Netty, the big Australian, not too happy with the loose head prop for Toulouse. Well, I didn't see what happened underneath that pile of bodies to make him a little bit irritated.
I'm not sure either, but if I saw Will Skelton was the person that angered, I'd probably take the blame myself.
I think Yeti pretty much did.
Wise man and young shoulders.
Yes, if only Emmanuel Merfu had been on the pitch at that point, then it would have been a proper super heavyweight tussle.
Absolutely.
Je lui ai dit au 5 blanc, ok, mais après vous le laissez. Je lui ai dit au 5 blanc, je le gère, mais vous le laissez.
Okay.
Everybody told to calm down, not retaliate. Toulouse with the penalty, finding the corner.
I think they'll feel a little bit frustrated to lose. 2-3 penalties in a row of promising positions. Tried, disallowed, effective from someone being offside. Momentum with the line out there again, not being able to fulfil it. So certainly searching here for this next 5 points.
Again, another maul. Toulouse see the chance here to maybe drive home their advantage. One try ruled out. They could have another one as they go over. Who's got it? They've got over it, all over the try line, and try has been given. Well, the flair of the last one was ruled out, but it's the power of the maul that sends them over for the second time on 25 minutes. And it's Guillaume Cramont, who said he was a try-scoring hooker, and he comes up with his 5th score of the season.
Just another try-scoring hooker from Toulouse, eh? I think La Rochelle can count themselves lucky because we see here an infringement, the hooker going down there. It's definitely a penalty against them. Could have been a yellow card. So rather take the 5 points, 7 points that's coming their way, and go from there. I think we'll also be checking for some foul play from Will Skelton, perhaps.
Ça arrive les images.
Ouais, montre-moi la touche, s'il te plaît.
And so they're going to show the pictures in a second.
I think Skelton maybe had some anger from the moment before, but we might see him, take somebody down on the floor. Maybe Youssef Head, we'll have to see.
Ouais. Okay.
That, though, is a problem for Toulouse, I would say, getting in the way of the La Rochelle players to make the tackle on the man who caught the ball in the line-out.
It's a great spot.
Okay, le lifter, il passe derrière.
There's two of them.
Ouais.
Netty and Fassuele.
Il y a obstruction.
So what has Mathieu Reynal got to say about that?
Le lifter, il passe derrière, il n'y a pas d'accès pour le sauteur, donc ce sera pénalité contre nous aux 15 mètres ici.
So it looks like no try.
Pas ici.
And for that reason that we've just said. Well, that's a possible 14 points that have been wiped off the board for Toulouse.
He doesn't much Ramos, does he? So whenever a try is scored, you expect the 2 to go over straight after. It's an interesting law, this. Obviously, the purpose of the law is to allow fair contest, to allow you to try and attack the guy that's got the ball, the jumper in this case. It's just not often refereed. And the amount of skullduggery and forwards play in the top 14 is immense.
So then, La Rochelle use up another of their lives. And they make good on the line out with Concourier. Now it's La Rochelle's turn to try to caterpillar their way forward with the maul. Toulouse have dealt quite well with it in the end. Bergeron, though, will pick it up. Skelton goes to ground. Bergeron digging for the ball. Still Toulouse 10, La Rochelle 14. Even though we've seen Toulouse's score go up to 15 a couple of times, that's knocked forward by Ange Capuzzo. Bergeron picks it up, the advantage being played. Probably over now, it is. It's a decent kick. Boutiniata has done really well, though, to get around the La Rochelle scrum half, and he's still going. The big right wing, and then he drops it and it locks it on. La Rochelle pick it up, and all of a sudden it's the men in white driving forward. Brice Dulin nowhere to go. Kankore, I thought, was thinking about the kick there for a second. In the end, he decides to stick to the day job.
He's been a star performer for La Rochelle this season, Kankore, and you know, I think he recognises his skill set's probably better suited to being an effective ball carrier.
Yeah, new signing from Clermont. Has been a terrific addition to them, even though it hasn't always been obvious because of what's happened to the team generally. Toulouse have turned the ball over. Ramos, they're spreading it wide. Now they're on the run. Boutiniata again. Jack Knoll brings him down. However, not rolling away after the tackle, the Englishman. Paul Graul takes it quickly, runs past Antonio, then falls over, feeds it out to François Cross. Toulouse. Graul. Clément Verger almost stuck to the ground there for a second, suddenly planted. Ramos, another kick over the top of Brice Dulin, finds touch. Well, they're inside the 22, but they'll lightly hand over possession, and he's not happy.
I was quite disappointed they actually kicked that ball there. Felt Toulouse put him under pressure, you know, 22 metres out. I don't think it was an obvious kick space behind. Probably could have kept the ball from their 2-3 phases and then look for their attacking kicking game.
Trying to remember who that guy was in the crowd. I know that he's an ex-skier and an ex-Paris-Dakar racer, and his name has eluded me.
That's some knowledge.
In it comes. Oh, that was interesting. The ball didn't quite attain the height that the jumper was going. Hugo Moller looking slightly concerned, as he might do at the moment.
Not high enough, not straight, you name it, he did it.
It's not clicking at the moment for Toulouse. Emphasise again, this is a second, almost third string side that has come out today, and it just shows you the depth that they have, that they're able to even do that and entertain that notion.
Yeah, as we said, the margin's so small, you know, probably 12, 14 points eradicated due to an error earlier on that. That is the law, of course, but it shows the amount of pressure that they have, the amount of possession and occupation that they're putting on La Rochelle has also been superior.
Clermont has it and looks for the try line again. Graul hoping to go through himself. Well brought down though by Souteni.
Under real pressure at ruck here, La Rochelle.
Over the top, Fasuele trying to do it. They've not stolen the ball. So we're going to come back. There was a penalty advantage, I hadn't seen. Not rolling away. Confirmed by the referee.
The arrival of the first support for Toulouse is exceptional. So after the tackle's made, it's so difficult if you're in a compromised position to get yourself back out of the tackle zone. And we're seeing that with 2 or 3 penalty advantage for that very same law.
It's almost like reverse jackling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Except that you're jackling the player so they can't actually roll away. Here they come then. Theo Etamak was the first man who carried the ball there. Graul out to Castro Ferreira! And a remarkable season continues for the big back row forward. 8 tries in 15 matches for the 20-year-old, who is really one of the few players in the youngsters who could argue that he would actually be a first-team starter when all the big guns are playing.
He's been exceptional, hasn't he? I mean, the power of the kid to go through 2-3 tacklers here. I mean, if you look, he's gone through the 12, the 13. Satini is an experienced campaigner, normally knocking guys back, and there he went through him like a knife through butter.
Well, we're going to assume that the try stands this time, because 2 have been knocked off the last 2 times they've been across the try line.
Such an effective play, very hard to defend 5 metres out. We see lots of teams adopting that similar strategy. When you've got a guy like Skelton or Matthew for Toulouse, often always works here. They don't have that power, but the execution of the play was so good from Toulouse.
Referee saying that the time is not on so that the kicker can see it.
There's not many certain things in life, but Toulouse winning at home and Ramos getting this over the sticks are probably 2 of them.
From in front of the post, pretty much. Takes a little bit more time than Antoine Hustoy to line things up, even when it's as relatively simple as this one is. Easy done. And this time, Toulouse are back in front. It's 17 points to 14.
What a great game, what a spectacle. You know, 2 entertaining teams really having a go at it, really trying to win the game and not just lose it. Let's see if it's 4th time lucky for Toulouse at restart.
Yes. Good catch this time by Ramos, finds Bitaniata. He runs straight into Cancourier. That looked like head-to-head. Framont clearing out. Grau wants the forwards to take on the next piece of possession. Ayeno was the man who got it. Didn't make very much ground. They haven't really drawn in many defenders either.
I think a keen policy there, try and stay inside the 22s, then kick direct into touch here.
Which Grau now does. Brice Dulin leaves it because it's gone into the crowd, so there's no chance of being able to take a quick one. Which is amazing how often you see that, though, in rugby. Not getting it far enough away from the line, and all of a sudden you're under pressure from a counter-attack.
Anxious faces there in the coach's box as normal.
Every right to be as well, because this season has been... last season they were 2nd in the table, and an easy 2nd in the table. This season they are struggling to stay in the top 6, and that was not straight. Anton Lesbec shakes his head.
When you have a problem sometimes like that, you look for your bench. But with Tolu Latu as the replacement there for La Rochelle, he's not the answer to throwing straight and throwing accurately. A wonderful player for many reasons, but the line-out throwing is the weakest part of his game.
No Pierre Bourgarit, who would normally be the #1 pick. Toulouse with fewer problems. Ramos, little training ground move put into effect on first phase play. Grau. Oh, Ramos again. Well, we've seen some spectacular passing from Toulouse this season, but they seem to be able to pass it with any part of their body, either side. Fasuele back inside, Netty. Netty brought down, though, by Tonga. Over the top by Grau. Well anticipated, though, by Brice Dulin. Dulin's going to run it, now tries to find space. And has done. It's a great kick. Ramos, though, has time to line it up and send it back where it came from, and has found touch. Whether or not he meant the bounce is another thing, but it certainly got the extra distance as a result. And the crowd did like that, as Sutani looks like he's taken a right crack into his nose.
Unfortunately, it's a rugby player's curse, the nose. You're going to break it once or twice in your career. We had a player yesterday, Léa Barré, the starts and fullback for France, broke his nose, unfortunately, in the last 10 minutes of the game as well. Yeah, not the cleanest of strike from Ramos, but you remember the outcome and not always the process at times. And, you know, 40-metre clearance at that stage of the game is pretty important for them.
Just practicing for a 50-22 at some point.
He's put a few away in his career, I'm sure of that. I think a nice doff of the cap there from Toulouse to La Rochelle for the scrum. You know, they had the opportunity for scrum and line-out. They chose the line-out again.
Reprise.
Probably recognise the power of the scrum that La Rochelle are bringing in the game so far.
Quentin Lesbec wants to get this one straight. Looks better, much better. Into the arms of Aldrit. Out by Hestoy, Soutani, who's just had his nose wrapped up a bit. Jack Knoll taken down though by Dimitri Delibes, the outside centre for Toulouse. Oh, picked up by Castro Ferreira, and the referee is blown though.
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's an offside there. I mean, again, a real hallmark of the competition actually in the wide channels. You'll see lots of numbers going into the wide rucks to really try and counter ruck to get a turnover. There's 3-4 Toulouse outside backs there. Capuzzo, the 12, the 13. Unfortunately, we can see they're just a margin offside and giving away a needless penalty.
Fabien Barthez, the 1998 World Cup winning goalkeeper. He could catch a ball or two.
Well received.
More of a Marseille legend, though.
I think so. He also played obviously for Manchester United for a long time. Not my team.
Less of a legend, though.
Well, yeah, not my team. I'm Newcastle United, but you respect talent, and he certainly was that. Big 2-3 moments before half time now. Really big 2-3 moments for Toulouse.
Brought forward by Tonga. Tonga brought down by Cramel. Round the back. Oh, big hit on Quentin Lesbec. There might be turnover ball as well. There is. Wonderful defence from Toulouse. Ramos, oh, that was cheeky. I think he knew that there was something coming. Lesbec there got absolutely clobbered.
Huge hit, great defence, 2 in the tackle, textbook technique it looked like to me. And spilling the ball, again, crucial 2 minutes here before you go in at half time. Toulouse know they've got a powerful bench to bring on as well in the second half and be looking to go in with the lead in the next 2-3 minutes.
Lesbec had 6 weeks out with a sprained ankle coming up to the end of 2023. Nevertheless, he's still played 23 games, including this one now.
Non, je vois pas. Pour moi, sur le bus, là. Allez, en place.
Looks like the president of La Rochelle is thinking a bit of a contact from the shoulders, the bomb in the jaw there, but it looked okay to me.
Flexion.
Big opportunity here for Antonio and his crew. 300 games in. Going to get a crucial penalty with 1 minute to go in the end of the first half.
Big push again by Antonio on Netty.
Yeah, stabilité.
Yep. Well, this is always the thing, is you're trying to get that drive forward at right. You can't allow them to get the march on you, hit you early, but the trouble is there's always that tendency, that temptation to engage just a split second too fast for the referee's liking.
You see some canny scrums, don't you, when they feel they're against a dominant pack, a heavier pack like we see here with La Rochelle. You know, if Antonio leaning his body weight forward with Skelton behind him, you can sometimes take the hit and try and go for a penalty yourself by stepping off and not embracing it and really allowing La Rochelle to go through you, try and buy yourself a penalty. Risky tactic, but sometimes it can work. Well,
we saw that with Antonio, didn't we, right at the beginning of the game, where he went flat out and Toulouse got the penalty from it. Wonderful view of the Stadium de Toulouse. Toulouse get it out the back quickly and Grau goes to the air and finds touch. And it's a good run through as well, which stops them taking it quickly. There was no real way to be able to take that line out quickly anyway. So the perfect result for Hugo Moller and his men. And that was a little bit early, wasn't it? The Hutu went off. But we have now reached 40 minutes.
Home ground, La Rochelle about to throw in, try and put them off.
So Lesbec again. 3 points the gap between the hosts leading their visitors. The 2 finalists from the last 4 finals, 3 finals. There comes Tonga. Oh, Hestoy can't collect. Grau has it, and Toulouse aren't ready to put it into touch yet either. Ramos spreading it wide. High risk, this at the end of the half. Here comes a brilliant run by Baresi. Cramon. Ainu puts his head down and makes like a Spanish bull. Ramos, Capuzzo, brought down by Aldrit, or at least stopped by Aldrit.
Plaquage, lâche.
Tackle called as Will Skelton comes piling in. Raoul. Oh, nice. Here it comes. Cramon again. Lovely support line. Oh, that's gone backwards, says the referee. So on we go again. Bituniata. It's almost like they're at the end of the game trying to get the defensive bonus point back, the way this play is going. Back inside, Bituniata again, needs support play, finds Graoul. Graoul held up by Brice Doulin and Jules Favre. And in the end, Tonga says, that's enough of that, let's go in for the half-time Oranges. And what a half it has been. Tries on both sides, some of which have counted, some of which haven't, but at half-time, Toulouse, the leaders, and their latest and their 6th European title. They're after their 23rd star for top 14. It's no wonder they don't have them on their jerseys.
Staggering achievement, isn't it? Absolutely staggering achievement.
Shows you, though, how difficult it is. The record is 6. The European Cup has been going, say the Heineken Cup, the EPCR Champions Cup has been going in some form since 1995. 6 is the record, so it shows you there have been a lot of champions over the years.
That's it. I think Leinster 4, Toulon 3, Wasp 2, Leicester 2, Saracens 2. You know, certainly bounced around a little bit, but amongst 5 or 6 teams have been prolific in that area.
Yeah, of course, you won one of those back in the early noughties.
I did against my current employees as well, which is something I like to remind them of.
As long as you're helping them win at the same time. You're listening to Paul Gustard, the defence coach for Stade Francais, who are in the running to finish top of the regular season, but they would quite like La Rochelle to take the victory here, or at least stop Toulouse from winning the game outright. They don't often get draws, but they do come along. That's been kept in by Thomas Ramos. Capuzzo launches the ball high and then chases his own kick. Brice Doulin's lost it, but so too has Capuzzo. Picked up by Hastoy. Bergeon, the young La Rochelle. Scrum half sends it long, too long, and the mark is called inside the 22 by Thomas Ramos.
I think we'll see again there from Capuzzo. You know, we were probably as close to the ball as he was there as he went to contest in the air, and he's dropped 3 balls in the first half at restart time, and you know, not being close to the ball there again for an elite level Tier 1 international fullback, you would expect better.
Which is perhaps why you see this man playing fullback more often. That and the fact you've got Roman Ntamack, although Ntamack has been out for a long time. There is Haddad, who had to go off in the first half. Hugo Royce next to him, Pierre Bourgrit just behind.
Of course, Toulouse signed Blair Kinghorn as well. They released Jaminet, you know, an international fullback.
Yeah, who saw him kicking them to a European title at the beginning of the campaign. An astonishing season. Just shows you how fortunes can turn around so dramatically. And what a great spot by Toulouse as well, never mind anything else.
Yeah, he's a great footballer, plays multiple positions important in this modern day rugby.
And made an absolutely try-scoring tackle to stop Dan Sheehan embarrassing Antoine Dupont in that game as well. Probably the only thing that Antoine Dupont did wrong in the entire 80 minutes, well, sorry, 100 minutes or so.
Beautiful play there from La Rochelle, really recognising space. The old Sankon Van Der, the 50-22, and give them an opportunity, 5 metres out.
Goodness me, that is a talk about accuracy. Look at this. This is a thing of beauty. It's brave when you go that close. Absolutely nothing Capuzzo could do about it.
Well, I think positionally, probably before, you know, he left 65 metres of space open on their side, didn't pull his full-back, his winger back, so he's too far across one side of the field and exposed a lot of space for a very talented 10.
Quentin Lespec, who had a couple of directional issues with his delivery from the lineouts in the first half. That's a beautiful throw, though. Will Skelton picks it up. That one's straight off the training pitch. Inside the 5-metre line. Bergeon moving forward, trying to get there. It was Jagu who took the ball on. Another youngster coming through. Skelton again, already with one try in the game. Tonga, who came on for her dad in the first half, who had to go off injured. Bergeon, out wide again, and here they come, Suteni! Beautiful play, the miss pass. Smoke and mirrors working for La Rochelle, and they hit the front 4 minutes into the second period, and a great reply from Ronan O'Gara's men.
Lovely continuity there from La Rochelle. You saw the brains, you saw the power, and then you saw the execution of the backs outside there. Recognised some space. Naive defending from the right wing there from Toulouse. Ramos stepping in, and an easy score there for La Rochelle in the end.
Yeah, Setariki Putanyata, the man who was exposed.
I didn't want to try and say his name because I knew I was going to sound anything like that. He drifted.
Fijian names.
No, he
love Fijian names.
He drifted off. He didn't stay square. Ramos, as we know, when we watch France play, is a weakness in defence. Rushed out to try and take himself away from the tackle potentially, and one went in, one went out, and then over he goes. Thank you very much, he says, for La Rochelle.
Well, this is quite a performance that we're seeing from La Rochelle. You could argue that they should be putting in something like this against a second-string Toulouse side. I mean, this is a side that have pushed Toulouse's first team over the last 3 or 4 seasons. Lovely kick again from Hostoy. Took a little bit more time that time with the slightly harder kick, but it's a great start to the first half, to the second half, and it is 17 points to 21 in La Rochelle's favour.
Yeah, an electric start again from La Rochelle, just like we saw in the first half. Be interesting now to see when the both teams start to use their bench. I would say that Toulouse have a slightly stronger bench. You know, a lot of good forwards there that played last weekend that can come on and change the game for them. With the 12 substitutions that you get in top 14 as well, it's a tactical choice of when you bring these guys on.
Go, Jill! Go, Dylan! Go, Dylan! Go, Oscar! Go, Oscar!
Picked up by Capuzzo.
He's the line!
He's brought down by the hooker, Quentin Lespec. Paul Graul looking around at the options, sees Will Skelton and goes the other way.
Christian! Christian!
Graul again, quick ball, Theo Ntamak. Needs some support. Just about arrives in time in the form of Puella Fasuele. And then his ball is thrown into touch directly. Well, that got a bit messy for Toulouse.
It just looked like they tried to force a bit there from Ramos. There was no need. I think they had 4v1. He tried to put a ball right across three of his own players. Not expecting it, and again turning over possession inside their own half.
Arrêt du tard.
Well, these two sides first met in the final as Puella Fasuele gets attention to a cut above his left eye. In the 2021 final, pouring with rain at the Stade de France that night, and Toulouse absolutely bossed that final. It left Ronan O'Gara, who was the assistant at that point, absolutely disgusted when I interviewed him afterwards. Anthony Geelong looks pretty happy with things, even though his side are now losing. Julien Marchand on his right, on our left. Thibaut Flamand behind him, and various other teammates that would generally be playing. Well taken by Jagu.
Didn't look too straight to me, but referee says play on.
Dylan Leds, who we haven't seen too much of so far in this game for La Rochelle, who is a brilliant finisher. Good counter-rucking though by Toulouse. Messes that play up.
Yeah, as we spoke about before in the first half, it's a real hallmark of this competition.
And they've taken it quickly as well. Delib with the ball forward.
Huge kick.
It is huge, but is it going to be too huge? Well, it's better than if it had gone over the dead ball line.
good, gives them a great counter-attack opportunity now inside La Rochelle's half. And, you know, they often have some of these trick play sets up like we see from Ireland, like we see from La Rochelle over the last kind of 3 years, where they take the ball to the middle and move the ball back on the inside.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if the ball had gone over the back line, then we would have had a scrum back up where the kick was taken, and he would have conceded possession. Now they've conceded possession, but because of the nature of the new goal line dropout, newish, they will now get another chance to attack, as you've just heard. Oh, well, unless, of course, you miss it.
Yeah, sloppy miss there, sloppy error, uncharacteristic from Entomac.
So they slightly deeper than they would have otherwise hoped. And also what that's done is it's really allowed La Rochelle defence to push up their line to pretty much the halfway. Ramos, Capozzo, Delib. Grau has it. Inside, and an attempt here to come forward with Castro Ferreira. Grau. Bitaniata recycles. Grau back inside, Thomas Romas. Tackle called. But Will Skelton not allowed to take it because the tackler didn't roll away.
Interesting what they do here. This isn't within Ramos's range, I think, but I think they'll probably still go for touch, but you can see some deliberation.
Well, it will allow them to get back to where they were a few moments ago. And that's a pretty good kick. Again, there's been some good kicking in this, and that's right on the 5-metre line. That's as good as it gets.
Mightily impressive, mightily impressive. Such a difference to be 50 metres out to 5 metres out, and the amount of pressure that puts you on as a defensive unit.
Yeah, the bare minimum is getting it into the 22, but it does make a huge difference if you're on the 22 and on the 5-metre line. The options for attack are completely different.
Well, they went over in the first half, Toulouse, but got brought back for crossing. Let's see if they can go.
Ferreira takes it. Bitaniata. Brought down well, though, by Jules Favre. Grau is going to bring the forwards into play. Cramon, followed by Fasuele, who's backed up by Francois Cross. Grau again, still staying with the forwards. Grau, this time the missed pass! Oh, brilliant! That is absolutely sensational. And Luca Toza takes it, 4 or 5 defenders out, and it's a walk-in for the left wing. What a try, but vision there to set it up.
What is so outstanding is the execution of that skill under pressure to go over 4 players, pinpoint to allow a play to score in the corner. Absolutely sensational from Grau.
Well, we told you he resembles Antoine Dupont on occasion, and there's another great example of it. He's learning from the best. Look at the spin, the spiral, it's straight to his man. And Toulouse beats one defender and then comes back inside a bit to score his 4th try of the campaign. No wonder he's gone to hug his scrum half. What a gift.
To think only moments ago, Entomac makes a mistake in the backfield, but Toulouse maintain their discipline, maintain their DNA of how they play rugby, tried to get back into it by moving the ball wide, penalty given, kick to corner. 2 minutes later, 7 points.
Thomas Ramos then with the extra points. No problem.
One of the things that's most remarkable about Toulouse is their scoring profile is the same in the first 20 minutes, 20 to 40, 40 to 60 and 60 to 80. They score almost 25% of their points in the top 14 in each of those segments.
Consistency. Always the holy grail of rugby.
Maybe their 98th try this year in the top 14, maybe now. I might be wrong, but maybe their 98th try. So again, we see La Rochelle going short. This time a change of personnel. Ramos moves himself to take the catch.
Tackle called. Mistake by Tonga. And it gives an easy out for Toulouse. Back and forth this game, isn't it?
Sure is. I mean, clear communication from the referee there. I think he was calling placards, he was calling tackle, not adhered to by the players, and you know, an easy exit now for Toulouse.
And on comes Sofiane Guitoun in what will be, well, possibly, well, he retires at the end of this season, and whether he will be involved in the semi-finals and the final is a moot point. So this could be the last time we see him in a Toulouse shirt.
Yeah, he's been a great servant, hasn't he? Great player.
Meanwhile, a change as well. Higher West has come on, who's a scrum half and has come on for the fullback Brice Dulin. Jonathan Danty has come on to add some weight for the backs. Coming on for Favre, and there's a change as well for La Rochelle at tight head prop. Georges-Henri Colomb coming on for Winnie Antonio, who has gone for a little bit of a sit-down in his 300th game for the club. Tolu Latu as well has come on at loose head prop and has replaced Weda Wardy. And also, just to round things off, Joel Merkler for Toulouse has come on to the right-hand side. There's Richie Arnold, who was sent off, unfortunately for him, in the European, or in the Champions Cup final. Not that it stopped Toulouse doing anything other than doing a number on Leinster.
Yeah, it's hard to stop Toulouse doing what Toulouse do, right? Decent throw from Latu there. As I said, the weakest part of his game, but was straight, was accurate. Nice start, nice entry into the game.
Yes, it was the defensive solidity of Toulouse in a final that was full of defensive solidity on both sides that won the day. Both sides scoring one try each, but neither of them scoring until extra time.
It's a great
brilliant play. Cramon over the ball.
If you ever want to see the difference between a forward and a back, that last 8 seconds demonstrates that. Watch Ramos, watch Cramon, and you see why one plays front row and why one plays 10.
Well, in an age as well where we see backs jackling, it's becoming a more democratic process all around, but Ramos isn't probably one of the great jacklers.
No, it's not part of his skill set. I think the defensive side of the ball and the contact side of things is not his super strength.
Dylan Lades finds Paul Groh, decides not to mark and sends it back the other way. Antoine Astoy is the catcher this time around. He has gone for touch and found it. And La Rochelle kind of have won that territory battle. They've at least managed to get back inside the half. Here come the big men. Dorian Aldegheri on the right-hand side, and also Cyril Bai. Off comes Rodrigue Netti and David Aino. So the two props changed. Nicely done again. Cramon still always been dropped by Ramos. Could see him look away from the pass as it arrived. And that is something you don't often see him do.
Bit frustrating for Toulouse. 2 or 3 uncharacteristic errors over the last 5 minutes, allowing La Rochelle to get back into the game a little bit after their score. Again, as we mentioned in the first half, when you get momentum, you get points up, you want to try and capitalise on that. They score, they get a penalty from the restart, they lose the ball at line-out, they get turned over shortly after, and again, given La Rochelle field position.
Flexion. Lié. Jeu.
Off the back comes Greg Aldrit. Jonathan Danty. Oh, Higher West is absolutely pummeled. That's a brilliant tackle. However, it's come back to Satani. La Rochelle continuing their attack. Bergeon. Well, the crowd think there that Toulouse managed to jackal that, but Jack Knoll has it. He's going nowhere. Great tackle by Guitoun, and the penalty goes the way of Toulouse. Cyril Bai, no, sorry, Castro Ferreira over the ball.
You just see, I think he might put his hands on the floor there first. You know, often the referees in this competition are pretty good at recognising that. Not in a legal position to support his own body weight, puts him in an unfair advantage contest for the ball.
Great tackle though by Guitoun that set up that turnover ball in the first place. Just sent La Rochelle back on their heels. And the clearance is completed and safety found.
Yeah, huge hit from Guitoun there. Beautiful scramble defence. There's that big hit we just spoke about. There you go, hands on the floor. Just that split second allows him to get his body weight, go back towards Jacques Nel to contest.
Over 130 appearances now for Toulouse for the former Union Bordeaux-Bègles man. Been at the club since 2016. Not quite as long as Winnie Antonio has been at La Rochelle though.
Non, pas par-dessus.
Out by Graou.
One of Tololatu's super strengths. Saw it in Australia, we saw it in his time he was with Stade Francais. Very, very good over the ball. As you can see, he's like a little, he's as wide as he is tall, and gets himself in a good position and gets the ball there for La Rochelle. Yeah, beautiful turnover. Brilliant position. Locked onto the ball. Showing off there now. Showing off.
All 6 of the European titles then shown on those boards.
Non, bon, il est pas créé.
Another generation, and the debate now is whether or not the current Toulouse side is the greatest Toulouse side. They're certainly edging that way. Oh, here comes Gregory Aldrich, though, up to a metre from the line. La Rochelle trying to go over, and they've scored. Georges-Henri Colombe, the replacement tight head prop, has brought La Rochelle back into it again, and the lead changes once more.
Quality finish. Again, the power of La Rochelle at set piece, their scrum, their line out, the effectiveness, so good. And then when you've got a guy that's 135 coming on for a guy that was program weight 140, pretty effective tight replacement.
And all of those kilos coming through, all 142 of them officially.
I was being generous to him. Maybe his mum's watching and she doesn't want him to be over 140. It's a short snack difference.
The extra 2 kilos might have been the difference. Brilliant tackle and a brilliant try coming after it. And La Rochelle refused to give up and go home in a game where they absolutely have to win if they give themselves a realistic chance here. They can, if they win today, they eliminate at least one of their challengers and make it much harder for the other 2.
So it's what we expect, isn't it? A champion team, champion mindset, history of winning, history of playing in big moments, big matches. Certainly relishing tonight here in Toulouse.
Astoy, no trouble again. And a fabulous game of rugby that we are seeing. Georges-Henri Colombe then coming up with a rare try. His first of the season.
Attends.
Man who started the final last season. On comes Jack Willis and Alexander Roumat. So the first team stars are coming on and Castro Ferreira comes off. Another try for him in his spectacular season with Toulouse. Roumat, man who's sort of come of age this season. Even though he's like mid-20s, he's finally been called up and picked and used, which is an important distinction for the French national team, having been hovering on the edge for so long. Louis Penverne, incidentally, has come on for Quentin Lasbec as hooker for La Rochelle as we hit the hour mark. Toulouse 24, La Rochelle 28. And this game is as competitive as I've ever seen between these 2 sides.
Incredible, real high-intensity rugby. Probably a low error rate as well, considering it's probably a little bit dewy on the surface, a little bit damp. The quality of rugby, the intensity of the match, the intensity of the collisions, real high grade.
Jack Willis has come on, as we said, but I mean, depending on which statistics you look at, is whether or not he did over 20, over 30, and some over 40 I've seen in terms of statistics, in terms of tackles made. And usually over 20 is regarded as a pretty decent game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a high work rate as Jack, and his super strength probably is actually stealing the ball, the jackling. Real strength of his game.
Paul Grau off the back of the ruck. Cramel, followed by Merkle. Interestingly, Merkle wearing 18 tonight as well. So you've got 3 props on the bench for Toulouse this evening. Oh, Grau's dropped it right in front of the referee as well, but there was a penalty advantage being played. So being played on the ground is the penalty against La Rochelle. We've still got 18 minutes to go here, and the lead has changed, what, 3 times alone in the second half.
Bonkers, isn't it? I mean, I can only imagine for Toulouse there must be some problems with their second row coverage at the moment, and probably facing the team of the weight and the size and the calibre of La Rochelle. They've gone for extra weight and ballast, and maybe we'll see one of these props covering a second row for scrummaging, if nothing else.
There you go, Dante on the ground. Basically, his knee is on the ground. He's not supporting all of his weight on his feet. Sur ses épaules, as the French would say. Another change.
Another prop.
Remy Piquet is coming on. 29-year-old lock forward. Rolling around and wheeling around. Jack Willis touches the ball for the first time. However, the penalty's gone the other way. It's not Jack Willis, it's the player coming in to support him who went in off his feet. Yep, stay on your feet, says the referee. Doran Aldegheri, French international prop forward. The backups at Toulouse are French internationals.
I know how blessed they are. It's a good law that, you're allowed to latch with the players still. Back in the day when I was playing, when the TV was black and white and the game was a lot slower, you're allowed to latch and have these kind of rolling wedges, rolling walls. Now you're allowed to latch, but if you go to floor, it's an instant penalty. So if you latch and the player is tackled, you must remain on your feet.
Jules Favre, incidentally, has come back on. Pierre-Louis Barassi was the man who was penalised for that infringement.
Great defence. Oh, it's a penalty there for Toulouse. They got away with that one, La Rochelle.
Yeah, Bergeron has it. Caterpillar formed off the back of the ruck. Looking for the kick. Now, how good will the run chase be? It's a really good kick. Really well taken, though, as well. Tonga trying to counter-ruck through, but it's picked up instead by Cyril Bay. Oh, same thing on the other side this time. Support player coming in and going off his feet. And so this time it's a penalty against Merkle. And a possible kick at goal, I think, here for La Rochelle.
I think in front of the post, you would be surprised if there did anything else there. It's again too easy for the referee, too clear for the referee to penalise you.
And the important thing here is that if he gets the 3 points, then it takes it up to a converted try, which will be as big a gap as we've seen since the first half. Should be regulation, this, for a man of Antoine Hustoy's calibre. Consistently amongst the top scorers in top 14 every year with regards to points.
And very high percentage, I think. He was probably in the top 5, maybe. The great Camille Lopez is still sitting around 1 or 2 for a regular kicker, but Hastoy is certainly normally up there as well.
Yeah, Joe Simmons is the man who's taken top 14 by storm, the Poe man. Another former Exeter man like Jack Knoll. Hastoy then hits it high, true, enough through. And now La Rochelle finally get a little bit of a cushion. as Winnie Antonio shares a joke with Reda Wardy. I wonder what that will do to the flow of the game.
Okay, big 15 minutes now. Big 15 minutes for Toulouse. Must score next.
Non, pas de lift.
They still resisted the temptation to bring Mavako on. Maybe the last 10 minutes, look for something if they feel the game's getting close again.
Up by Bergeon. It's gone out, but not enough, and it's going to be taken quickly. This is what you don't want when you kick up. You do not want play to start again. The only thing they've gained there is a little bit of territory, but the possession has gone. It's good tackling, though. Nice play, though, by Delib. Just to reset that attack. Grau. Cyril Bay. Nice little step in by the left-sided prop.
Beautiful skills.
How the game has changed. Merkla, upended by Tololatu. Ramos again, nearly dropped that, but managed to cling on to it this time. Antoine Ustoy resets his feet, looks for the big kick. Finds a big kick, however, same thing again. Taken quickly. Lovely play by Bergeon, though. And away by Ramos. Slightly messy. That nearly worked out for La Rochelle in the end. Back it comes from Ustoy. Looks for more space on the far side. Capuzzo takes it. Crowd thought he might run that. We have seen some remarkable runs by the Italian in his relatively young career. Is that a volley by Ustoy? He enjoyed it.
This is a football stadium. You know, Capuzzo, electric pace, electric footwork, as he said. He's done some remarkable things in his short time in the rugby field so far.
Have it.
It's coming home this year. It's coming home to England.
Yeah, that's another sport. La Rochelle then with it. Last 12 minutes. Tololatu has it at the back of the maul. They're still moving forward, edging forward. That's the first stop, I think. The referee, though, hasn't signalled it yet. So Bergeon decides that's enough of that. Goes to the air. He's going to get the bounce. Two men leaving it. Oh, Capuzzo and Bittenjata nearly making a mess. La Rochelle trying to get the turnover ball. Jonathan Dontiu is the king of turnovers, trying to get over it. Oh, and in the end, it's going to be a scrum to Toulouse, and I can see you reacting to that decision.
I mean, obviously dreadful in the backfield from the big Fijian. But I thought it was a turnover. I thought Jack Noel got a turnover there with Dante and probably maybe escaped one. Beautiful footwork here. We've seen a few highlights of Grau, as we mentioned a few times during the match. Like for like with Dupont, as close as anyone can get there anyway.
Well, that was Toulouse coming in. It's Grau who's coming off, who supplied that beautiful ball, and he will be replaced by Baptiste Germain. 23 years old. He's not that old himself, to be quite frank with you, and he's got a couple of tries. He's had 16 appearances until now, 7 of which he's started, which is quite significant when you're the third choice.
Yeah, I mean, again, probably highlights the amount of time Dupont's away as well, obviously with the sevens this year, but with international duty, Six Nations, Autumn Series, you get more opportunity to play. You know, again, very talented footballer, good kid, and I think Toulouse are pretty happy with 3 scrum halves that they have.
Got a neck injury before the winter with Baptiste Germain. Had a couple of weeks out after that, after a bit of bruising, but bruising is just pretty standard for a rugby player.
Be interesting here to see the change with the front rows. You can see the experience now that's been brought on by Toulouse, and actually Merkel has gone into the second row. Just saw him getting down there, the Dan Cole lookalike, dropping down into the Deuxième Ligne, and we're seeing a little bit more strength through Algeria here on the tight head side.
Flexion.
I think Louis Penvern's quite young, inexperienced, so good opportunity for Toulouse.
Yeah, only 21 years old.
Penalty given. Too easy.
The pain on Ronan O'Gara's face.
Rochet.
He probably gets the feeling this game, in a sense, is a microcosm of their season, isn't it? It's always been one step forward, one step back, and they've struggled to just keep going forward.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's sometimes one, sometimes two steps back, you know, and they just seem like they're getting momentum, and then someone bites them back and they lose two in the spin, and it's just been that frustrating kind of year. But the margins, again, are so small. We see here competing against Toulouse at Toulouse, and getting a good run for the money and leading with 10 minutes to go.
And then on comes Piatu Mavaka just to bring a little bit of extra quality. The man who was in the shadow of Julien Marchand for so many years early on, but seems to have just popped his head above him, not just for Toulouse, but also for France this season, particularly in the Six Nations. Of course, the injury to Marchand helped that happen as well. Here's Roumat to Ramos to Capozzo. Nice movement here from the men in black and red. Lovely play. Roumat again. Oh, it's been left behind. Turnover ball. Donty has it. Well, it was looking so good until then, but he just got a little bit too hot the potato in the hands. And now they've given away a penalty.
So close but so far, so close but so far. Beautiful interplay again from Toulouse, the offloading game, the movement, the confidence to play from deep, all the hallmarks of this side.
Lucas Toulousain's already scored once. He scored that beautiful goal, beautiful try that was set up by that missed pass. Well, it was more of a missed pass, wasn't it, from Paul Graou?
Yeah, skip three, the old-fashioned skip three.
La Rochelle then given an escape route.
Great kick from Hostoy.
This time Capuzzo can't take it and recycle early. And that's encouraged Ronan O'Gara. Well, there's been some terrific play from both sides. There's been a lot of forward power, but they've interspersed it with lots of forays through the backs, with the forwards joining in as well. And really, Toulousain should have taken that.
I think so. He's one eye on the try line, one eye on the ball. Unfortunately, he need both on the ball at that time. Change
of scrum half finally for La Rochelle. Riberan has come on to replace Bergeon, who's had an excellent game. Tolu Latu has it at the back of this La Rochelle maul. 7.5 minutes to go in the game, in a game that could define La Rochelle's season. They've lost their European title, but they've never won the top 14 crown. They are looking for inspiration perhaps from the 2018 side of Cast, who came from 6th at the end of the regular season to win the title. It's not very often that happens. Capuzzo. Toulousain. Looking to run this are Toulouse. Bati Germain steps back inside, and you're good luck to get past Jonathan Donty with some stepping like that. He's a man who has got magnets on the end of his fingers.
He's also pretty wide. You have to step pretty wide and pretty big to beat him.
That's gone backwards. Dorian Aldegheri, who dropped it. Referee's blown. Going to the ground again. Oh, beautifully taken by Roumat. Gitoun. One of the men who used to be so fluid, running past defenders in the past. Not quite that speed anymore. Bitaniata steps back inside, brings speed and power. Recycled. Ramos did well there to wait for the tackle to go past him. What's that, crossing?
Forward pass potentially, but it didn't look forward to me.
Yeah, it was.
The confidence of Toulouse again, though. 5 meters from the goal line, quick tap, they go. You know, get beautiful interplay, great scramble defence again from La Rochelle.
Everything you would expect from the best of the French game. That was Teddy Riberan trying to dispossess Thomas Ramos, who's not noted for his strength in the tackle, but he stood up well there.
Yeah, he's unusual, but I'm sure he's pretty happy that it was Riberan coming towards him and not Skelton.
I think anybody would be. Well, two of the leading coaches in world rugby, never mind French rugby, Hugo Mola, Ronan O'Gara. Hugo Mola is not happy with something and is talking to the fourth official about it. Ronan O'Gara looking calm at the moment, focused. He knows that this is a real opportunity here to get a rare win over Toulouse and also an even rarer double in the season.
He's looking red as well. I'm not sure it's through stress or through the bit of sun that the Irish skin's taking in La Rochelle at the moment, but 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go for Rog, and he'll be looking to try and finish this one through.
Been a weird spring, to be quite honest with you, in France this year. Hasn't quite been able to manage to decide what it wants to do. April conditions in May, but it's a bright, nice evening for rugby this evening on the penultimate weekend of the Top 14 regular season, and it's the two heavy hitters over the last few seasons that are going head-to-head again. Winnie Antonio has done his work. He scored a try in the final last season, but it didn't help them to win that first start. It's like Fasueli is about to come back on again.
Big scrum this. Huge scrum for Toulouse.
Clément Verger is the man who's coming off. Those two actually started together in the second row, but the rule is obviously if you can come back on again if you're not injured, as long as it's not to the exact position that you left. Took me a long time to understand that rule, I've got to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting concept, isn't it? It allows, you know, some of these guys recycling some huge men in the competition to keep coming back on and be fresh and be fit.
Out by Aldrich. Iribarren decides he's going to come back the other way and kicks with the left foot. Capuzzo, nice catch. Not under pressure, would have expected to do that. Now all of a sudden they're on the charge. Setariki Peteniata. Really well brought down by Louis Penverne. Jack Willis. Can he recycle? He can. Picked up by Movaka. Went behind Bati Germain. We've seen Movaka come off the back and play scrum half sometimes, and that's a penalty to Toulouse. Gregory Aldrich getting a little too frisky in the breakdown.
I think they can afford to challenge a little bit, La Rochelle. I think it's good policy from them. In the opposition half, challenge, contest, give away a penalty. They need to score twice to lose to take the result away. It's always the balance against Toulouse, to keep numbers on feet, to defend their width and their movement, or to try and slow their ruck speed down, which is the fastest in the competition. One less option, obviously, with a prop play in the second row here from Toulouse. A little sneak play around the front.
Here comes Merkler. 4 minutes to go. Toulouse chasing. They haven't lost at home for 2 years. But this is exactly what could happen at the moment. Ramos decides to straighten up because he saw that Iribarren was the man in front of him. And La Rochelle have stolen it. Was that Jonathan Danty in the middle of all of that?
I actually thought Iribarren stole it first.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they both had a good, fair claim to the ball. He then got cleaned out. Danty stepped over and communicated to the referee that was an opportunity there for the turnover.
All about painting the right pictures, isn't it, these days, to the referee?
I felt Toulouse pull the trigger too early there. They had momentum, front foot ball, two big runners coming onto it. They pull the ball back out to Ramos. Ramos didn't have an exterior option or an interior option. Decides to go himself and gets turned over. Big Rog happy there.
La Rochelle then have it. 2.5 minutes to go. Using them all to wear down the seconds. And they go to the air now. Go for territory. Iribarren. Well taken by Bitaniat, who calls for the mark and then takes it immediately and sets off the Fijian, though tackled. Ramos. Oh, Ramos has seen some space. Danty sold himself a bit early there. And Gitoun has come forward. Capuzzo. Alexander Ruma. Perhaps not the man you want to have the ball in that position. Nevertheless, Toulouse in attack. Jack Willis recycles to Ramos. Cyril Bay Guitoun out wide, Capozzo. There's a chance here in the corner. Toulousain's second of the game. Toulouse are never beaten. They just keep coming. And the 2-year unbeaten run could well survive if they get the conversion.
A 90-metre try at 78 minutes into the game. The constant execution of skill set here under pressure, under a defence as good as La Rochelle's. Multiple passes, multiple rucks being contested. Not one bad pass, every ruck hit, and a beautiful pass to finish and an excellent finish in the corner.
Well, Toulousain messed up one earlier. He could have had a hat-trick of tries tonight. This is a tough one, though, for Thomas Ramos. From the edge of the pitch. This is as tough as it gets for a right footer. This to draw. What a kick from Thomas Ramos. And it's level inside the final minute.
Just exceptional. Under that amount of pressure, as he said, huge crowd, not lost it over 2 years. No, he needs this. Puts it over, absolute certainty.
The captain this evening, yes, Thomas, you are the best, it says. Well, that's quite a boast for this Toulouse side. 31 each after 79 minutes of play.
Capuzzo takes it with a lift.
Germain. Now then, are they going to go for the win?
No, no.
There goes the hooter. Last play, theoretically, unless there's a penalty.
No, derrière.
2 points, takes him 5 points clear of us.
He's going to go for the kick. Just a little one. It's a hit, though. Back by that forward by Toulouse, and here come La Rochelle again. Will Skelton to the flying Antoine Astoy. La Rochelle looking for that win, but Toulouse have stolen it again. And they've got the penalty as well, I think. Still going. Referee, though, is actually blown, and I, like the players, was carrying on playing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Skelton's charge into the ruck there as well. He certainly came in physical, went in low. I didn't see much of his arms.
Là, il y a un grattage à la main blanc, c'est pour ça que je siffle. Ok? Merci. Tu peux demander maintenant. No!
Ramos not wanting to wait for the further explanation. Referee has said no, they're going to have to come back.
Pas pour moi. Après le match, si tu veux. C'est un grand moment, c'est. Ah oui, mais pas pour moi. Pas pour moi.
Well, the High West wants to have a chat about it, but after the game, says the referee.
There's a different facial expression from the two coaches. Hugo Mola's just grown 3 foot taller. Big Rogers for looking a little bit more rouge.
The ball is sent out, and Toulouse's 2-year unbeaten run at home survives, but only just. La Rochelle, the team beaten by them twice.
Penalty.
It was a penalty, excuse me. On we go.
They want the win.
We go.
They want the win.
I assumed that, yes.
Yeah, see, the 2 points which they have takes us 5 points out of us, so they would maintain their first position.
Fasuele takes it.
They don't need to win the game. They've got enough points to finish top.
Always been stolen by Piquet. Oh, they might pay for this. Now a chance suddenly for La Rochelle to win it at the end. West out to Astoy. Astoy slips. However, he's backed up well. Support play, keeping that ball in possession of the men in all white. Jagu through. Latu picks it up. Recycled once more. Dante runs into Fasuele and absolutely hurts his head. Turnover ball, and back it comes from Capuzzo. Long ball forward, but it's going to be a hell of a run here for Bitaniata. It's kicked out the back by Hastoy. Crowd don't like that. They don't want this game to end. Now, what's the referee going to decide with this? Hugo Moll is loving it.
Il y a deux situations à contrôler.
So there's
La
two
première,
things
c'est
going
le
on here.
plaquage. On va contrôler le plaquage sur le blanc. Et après,
Right,
on
so it
contrôlera
could
la
be a
situation
head-high tackle
sur le
here
jeu au
on
pied.
Jonathan Donty, and
Il y a
we're
deux
first going to
situations
check
à
that
contrôler.
out.
Les gars,
And if it is that,
venez. Il y a
then there
deux
could
situations
well
à
be
contrôler.
even
La
a red
première, c'est sur le
card,
plaquage
and we
du
will
blanc.
still carry on
Et ensuite,
playing.
la seconde,
And
ça
it's in
sera
front
sur
of the
le jeu au
post.
pied.
3
Sur
points,
l'arrière. Mais d'abord,
Hastoy.
là,
Again, I think unnecessary
c'est
play from
important de
Toulouse.
laisser-moi
Who am I to say what this great side choose to do
Okay,
with the last
Mathieu,
minute
je
of
demande
play?
les
But
images.
yeah,
Ça,
it's
c'est le
definitely a
premier, le
penalty.
5.
Yeah, Puella Fastoele.
His mitigation, he's dropping his height.
Écoute, non,
First
là, je
contact
vois pas.
potentially on his
Je
chest.
vois
But
pas
all
de
it
jeu
needs to be is a
déloyal.
penalty.
On a un joueur,
Absolutely.
un porteur de balle qui se baisse avec un premier plaqueur engagé. Remets-moi l'image, le 5 est baissé. Le 5 est clairement baissé.
Well, he's seriously considering something
Okay.
as a penalty here because he
C'est le
wants
blanc
another
qui
look at
vient
it.
sur l'épaule du joueur. En plus, il est poussé par le premier plaqueur, donc je vois pas de jeu déloyal ici.
Ah, so
Montre-moi l'autre image sur le jeu.
right, so he doesn't see unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Sur un plan large, ça serait plus.
That doesn't mean it won't be a
Cette image
penalty.
est parfaite.
If it's a penalty, it's a certain 3 points and lost game.
On va essayer de voir si on n'a pas d'autres plans, parce que là, on est un petit peu loin. Je n'ai pas
Là,
d'évidence.
écoute,
There are no other views. What are they looking at here exactly?
non, je vois pas de
Ah,
jeu
let's see,
déloyal.
okay. Looking to see whether
Le joueur
West
bouge
has
pas.
impeded
De la
Capozzo.
même manière que je vois pas de jeu déloyal sur le plaquage avec le joueur qui se baisse.
Well, he
Je vois
certainly,
pas de jeu
certainly
déloyal
leans
clair
over
là.
and tries to
Le
put his
ballon est
backside
tapé
in his
loin,
way.
aucune
Yeah, he's
possibilité
changed
d'intervenir, on
lane,
va
he's
rester
changed
là.
course of
C'est bon
direction
pour toi, le
deliberately.
ballon a été
Impeded play,
sorti,
that's
fin du
definitely a
match.
penalty.
Fin du match.
Ah, venez. Si tu es d'accord, c'est un bon point déjà. Non, non, pour moi, il n'y a pas de pénalité. Le 5, il est baissé clairement. Ensuite, il y a un joueur qui le pousse sur lui. Tu vois, donc je ne vois pas de jeu déloyal. De la même manière, sur le jeu au pied, je ne vois pas de jeu déloyal non plus. OK.
That's it. No penalty either way. The game is over. Toulouse hold on to their 2-year unbeaten run. But La Rochelle have come as near as anybody to beating them for the first time in that period. However, at the end of this game, it has finished. Toulouse 31, La Rochelle 31, and it's all to play for now on the final day.
Incredible stuff. What a match. What an absolutely incredible match and spectacle and an advertisement for the top couture. Two great teams, two good squads, two great coaches, two European champions of the last 2 years going head to head.